Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at my Gameweek 5 team. So glad that the Premier League is finally back. It's been way too long. I've been on my wildcard if you haven't been watching other videos or you've recently subscribed. And basically, yeah, this team is not set in stone. Essentially, there's two players that I was hoping for price rises and they didn't come last night. So I'm hoping they're going to happen tonight and I'll make the transfers tomorrow morning. If not, then I have got a backup plan and I will post all the final things on my Twitter, so make sure to check that out. So without further ado, let's jump into the team. So we start with the goalkeeper. We've got Nick Pope in goal. Brighton away. Might be a clean sheet, might not. I'm not sure, but again, as I've always said, I'm there for the save points. I expect this to be probably quite an open game, especially because both sides seem to do quite good attacking-wise. But I think, yeah, the saves will come with Pope. And you see Newman on the bench. Button, I just fancy the change up for Woodman. Just didn't like the red on the goalkeeper, so that's purely that reason why Button's in there. But yeah, Nick Pope had a little price on 4.6 million as well, so hope to get some bit of profit from him sooner or later. But yeah, he's in there for the moment. Come to the defence, as you can see, a little change up from a wildcard video. So Luca Dean stays in there, so is Lundstrom. I think Luca Dean, Bournemouth probably will wipe out their clean sheet. I don't expecting a clean sheet, but Luca Dean, attacking wise, is brilliant. And Lundstrom, the 4 million hero, Southampton at home, looks like a great fixture on paper for him to bank a clean sheet and maybe get some attacking returns. He chatted about his role in a press conference saying that he's like a box midfielder, gets some shots off and defends as well. So he's an all-round great asset, so I'm happy to own him. And then Joel Matip, the new man in defence. I was keen to have a City defender in Zinchenko or Otamendi, but after the reports Mendy would be back, I just didn't feel happy having a City defender because of the amount of rotation, particularly because they're having to travel to Ukraine in midweek. I'm not happy with anyone. So Zinchenko's gone out. He's played a lot of minutes international break. Mendy might be using this game. Zinchenko might be using Champions League, so we don't know. So Joel Matip, again, you can say that he's not set to definitely play, but I think that he's a first choice partner with Van Dijk. And I have a feeling Klopp will probably use Joe Gomez in the Champions League at right back and rest Trent. I think that's probably the plan he wants to do. So happy with that defence. Let's move on to the midfield. So the midfield again hasn't really changed that much. Got De Bruyne, Sterling, Salah, a banging three in midfield that I think can get lots of points. Norwich look like they're going to have a load of injuries at the back. So I've been toying between Sterling, De Bruyne and Salah all for captaincy. Because I think all could score big this week, but I'll let you know captaincy later. And the new addition is John McGinn. Now, I was on Dan James and I was quite keen to keep him, but then I looked at the comments in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference and there's a lot of injuries to United side. So I have a feeling that Dan James will probably, if say United can get the game wrapped up early on, which to be fair, playing Leicester, they might not, Dan James will probably get taken off and Mittens will be getting managed. So he might get a goal, might get an assist, but I don't think he's going to be playing because he's going to want to play, a strong side in the Europa League. So he's got out. So John McGinn's come in. West Ham at home, a good fixture on paper. I've been looking at the stats from McGinn before I got him, because I'm always quite sceptical on newly promoted players. McGinn has a lot of shots, a lot of dribbles. He likes to pass as well. So he looks like a good player. And also it means it gives me, someone to watch in the Monday night football game as well. And Villa have got some great fixtures, so I'm happy to own him. And on the bench as well, Cantwell is a great option, and him and McGinn will rotate for me, depending on which fixture I prefer. So there's a chance I may lose out some points some weeks, but I like having that flexibility. It means that if one player gets injured, I have a very strong bench option to come in. We come to the strike force. Now, Vardy, Pukki, they have been in there for the whole international break. Vardy, I think, United, all the injury problems, he could have a good time against them. Pukki, I'm not expecting to get many goals against City. I think maybe there's a chance that they can get one against City, but I'm not going to keep the hopes up. But to be honest, I don't fancy playing anyone else from my team or from the bench, so he's going to start anyway. And then Seb Haller is the guy that's come in. Ashley Barnes was the man I was looking at, and he, in Sean Dyche's press conference, he apparently had an injury, a little groin strain, but apparently he's fine. But I worry that his minutes might be managed. So Seb Haller's come in, again, same reason as John McGinn. Obviously he's got the Monday night football game, but his stats are really good. He's almost getting a goal every single game according to goals scored. So I'm thinking that if Haller comes in, the Villa West Ham game could be very open, And West Ham got some good fixtures on from that as well. But it also means that I have enough money to go down to Barnes if, say, Barnes picks up his form, or if he scores and he's playing, then happy days, I'll get him in. But it just means he has the flexibility, because if, say, I didn't have Haller, I went Barnes, I wouldn't be able to get stretched to Haller. So it just gives me that flexibility. And then also, see on the bench, Martin Kelly is there, but he's likely to go out. I've got, I think, 0.3 million in the bank, and I'm not happy with having 4 million defenders, two of which probably won't play on, in a rotation. So I'm looking at the Watford defence. Quique Sanchez-Flores has come in, and when he was there, he really solidified the defence. Craig Cathcart was the guy I was looking at because of the goal threat, but he's got a muscle injury, so it likely will be Kiko Femenia. Or if I definitely know that Cathcart can play, the week after, then I'll bring him in, because Femenia has got the rotation risk with Jan Matt. But yeah, I'm happy with that. And let's go on to the captaincy. So obviously this captaincy has probably been the hardest of the season, because now that I've got 3 big hitters in that midfield, I'm looking at who I want to captain. So when I started the international break, I was set on Sterling. I thought, Norwich away, it just looks like a great fixture, and City should absolutely destroy them. Then I had a thought, okay, Salah's actually not getting any minutes. He's going to probably be energised and look to break down the Newcastle side. But then thought Newcastle, having set up really well this season, only conceding 1 goal at the maximum in their games, apart from against Norwich. That's a kind of minor blip. So it went to De Bruyne actually. And I thought De Bruyne played lots of minutes as well, and he might get his minutes managed. So I've now gone back to Sterling. There's a really good thread on Twitter via Reddit. I think I retweeted it on my page. You go to try and look at it, about Sterling's minutes after the international break. And I think of the 6 out of the 8 times that he came back for internationals, he started in the games, and the other 2 he just didn't play. One of them was an injury, one of them was a suspension. So obviously Pep is happy to play him. We have to think about Champions League in the midweek and what that will do to the City team. But they've got such good squad depth that I think Pep is probably going to play, Aguero, Sterling, and probably one of Bernardo Silva or Mahrez in that front 3. I'm going to go with Sterling the captaincy, and Salah's going to be the vice captain. Because Sterling, whenever he's benched, he tends not to come on unless City are losing the game. So that means that if he didn't play, the vice caps go to Salah. And because Salah is playing before Sterling in the fixtures, this would mean that I could have a bit of comfort in knowing that if, say, Salah's hauled and Sterling doesn't play, then I've got a good vice captain to pick up the points for me. So there's a lot of thought gone into this captaincy, and I've seen loads of people do different things. De Bruyne is tempted to captain, but I just think his minutes probably will be magically so key to the City side, and probably will likely play in midweek. So yeah, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know what you think of my team. Obviously, Wildcard, I had so many combinations I could have done, and I think I've finally settled on this, providing that the price changes go my way. If my price changes aren't going the way I want it to be, and Abraham and James don't go up in price, then it will likely be that Haller will become Barnes, and I will probably upgrade Kelly to Soyuncu of Leicester. But of course, make sure it'll probably be tomorrow morning that I will post my final team on Twitter. So make sure to check out that when it comes about. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We're nearly at 200 subscribers at the time of recording, so if we can hit that milestone before Gameweek 5, that'd be incredible. Really loving all the support. And also on my channel, I've got some FPL, other smaller channels that I've been interacting with a lot. The Footbox, FPL Discussion, FPL Penguin, they're all really good channels, so make sure to check them out and subscribe to them. Support the little more channels and get them growing to hit the heights. So let's talk FPL and FPL TV and FPL tips. So yeah, good luck for Game Week 5, and I'll catch you in the next video.